gentlemen, I forgot to put myself on the screen there. And as you know, or as you are seeing, it is me. It is AK, ladies and gentlemen. Tex is here, down here where I live. We were spending the weekend together, but he is currently about to leave tomorrow, so he's getting everything ready. G.U.Y. is on vacation. Butch P, not sure, but that's okay. We can do a solo show. Look, we all know the show. If one of us can go, one of us will go. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, I always bring up my wife. She always says, there's no football. What are you going to talk about? And it's like, you know what? We got all kinds of stuff. You know why? Because it's episode 209. We had Daytona that just ended. Rex all down the stretch there with Willie Biron. Hope he's not Canadian because he wouldn't like my hat that I'm wearing right now. I've got the United States of America bucket hat on. Episode 209, February 16, 2025. Tex may join me here shortly, but we'll see. It's National Bird Health Awareness Day /week. And if you're Canada, you probably are very well aware of the health of one bird in particular, and that's the bald eagle flying up north, braving the elements in the dead of winter, shooting American flag, red, white, and blue rainbows out of its arse, and just landing right there in the middle of Montreal and leaving a hot, steaming pile of welcome to America right on their front door. Shout out. That's the bulk of the show today is going to be USA hockey, Saturday night, electrifying the nation. Almost spilled my drink there. Actually, I did spill my drink. Whoops. Bringing the country together. Football was done. Football was dead. It was over Sunday. And guess what? Hockey made us forget, but also made us remember. Thanks for rescuing us from the awesome. Dude. The stuff that I've got that in the notes. The stuff that I've got going on right now is the NBA, like, we'll get into it in a minute. But we had Daytona just in, so they're interviewing the racers right now. Stuff is going, clean up on NASCAR bets today. That is American, dude. I mean, that's the Daytona 5 race, the great American race. Daytona 500. Let's go. So, but I love, my wife was like, are you watching this for real? I was like, yes, I'm watching this. So it's National Bird Health Awareness Day. Let's go. I got a couple of facts here. Welcome in, everybody. If you're listening to the podcast, we are doing well in the podcast numbers. Things have been going in the right direction. So every review, every thumbs up that you leave on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, whatever, that always helps. Every thumbs up you leave on one of these videos, it helps. We love doing this. It's a lot of fun. I know football is over, but we have a lot of stuff that we will continue to go and talk about. So National Bird Awareness Day. And by the way, me and Tex, I don't know if there's any fish left in this river down here. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. The weather was weird, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter when you're using the right stuff. You'll see that later in the show. On the show, we got Salute Your Sports Sunday. We got headlines. Again, it's just me. It's AK. I didn't do a dad joke because I always feel weird telling a dad joke when nobody's here to shake their head at me. So Heavy Steps is here. We're going to talk about this golf tournament. We're going to talk about USA. We're going to hang some banners. And we got one piece of news and other relevant sports news. I mean, right now there's the NFL is going nuts with who's trading where, rumor this, Trevor Lawrence to Pittsburgh, Matt Stafford here, so-and-so, this and that. Justin Fields going here. Where's Daniel Jones going to go? Sam Darnold's going to get this. Brock Purdy doesn't deserve that. Everybody's still yelling about who cares? Who cares? Doesn't matter. But we got all that. So let's get right into it. Let's get right into it. I love this. Let's hit the drop. Cue the drop. AK for Salute Your Sports. Don't be an idiot. So there you sports. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First thing we're going to talk about, we're going to get to Ludwig Aberg, and his silky smooth, just absolutely filthy golf swing. Was able to check out some of that this weekend. But the first thing we're going to do, I don't even know if this has any video. Oh, whoops. I don't know if this has any video. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Got a comment on my hat. Thank you, Miss CEO of Stats. Let's get right to it. There's really nothing else to go than just this highlight right here. I don't know if we're going to get in trouble for that. I have no idea, but it does not matter. I'm going to turn it off because I don't want to get in trouble. But this right here is outrageous. This whole thing, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Well, actually 8:20 because ESPN does this thing where they tell you 8 p.m. and it's worse than the actual it's worse than the pregame shows, because ESPN actually and you tune in, you're ready to watch hockey. It's 8:00, and then they freaking pull the old 20 minutes to puck drop. We're gonna film people in the locker room, shenanigans. And before the puck even starts dropping, like, you can feel the tension in this game. Like, you can feel where they were booed. The national anthem was booed when we played Finland, and then the talk leading up of why Montreal was booing. Everybody knows this and that. And look, whatever you believe or not, if you're in the USA, you're wearing that on your chest. And somebody, that's right, dude. What's up, Buku? Yes, it did. Like, whatever side you're on, it doesn't matter. If you boo somebody's national anthem, that's probably going to piss them off. And it did. It put a little fire in them. And I love it. And you got Tkachuk's dad, who within 20 seconds, the two Tkachuk brothers, within 20 seconds, whenever he did it in 1996, when he that's right, beat him on the ice and on the scoreboard. You're exactly right. Heavy steps. But Keith Tkachuk did the same thing his two sons did Saturday night. It's in Montreal, Canada, home ice for Canada. One of the greatest, it is absolutely banana lands to look out there on the ice and see Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon, and Connor McDavid on the same line. Unbelievable. That was stupid. So, but anyways, so you're getting, you're ready to go. We got Canada versus USA. You could tell. You could just feel it. You could feel it. The NHL All-Star game. Shout out to them for just being like, you know what? We're just going to put your nation's crest on your chest and just go out there and fight each other for 2 weeks. And it's incredible. It's been phenomenal. I watched the Finland-Sweden game, and it was great. It was an overtime game. All the games have been overtime except for the ones involving U.S. because we're just absolutely pumping everybody who steps on the ice. It doesn't matter. So take a look at this video. Those of you listening to the audio version, you can't really see it, but it's the opening clip is the Tkachuk brothers just dropping him. As soon as the puck drops, it's just, I think it's Hagel. Is that Hagel from Canada? Just him and Matt Tkachuk going at it. And then it's Brady Tkachuk and Sam Bennett. They're going at it. McDavid's getting just rocked. And that hit right there on McDavid led to a goal. You got Dylan Larkin from the wings just sniping. Then an empty netter for Gensel. 2 goals for Gensel. Look at this. And it's just Freebird just blare. Canada's furious. They don't know what to do. USA's just come in there, kick their feet up, put their feet all over their desk. Unbelievable. They got, literally the Bash Brothers. Literally the Bash Brothers. That's what it was. So what just happened? I guess I hit the wrong button. I meant to share a different screen. Let's go to this one next. Here we go. So it was just, the O Canada before the game was so loud. Obviously they booed our national anthem, so we could have booed theirs. But when this thing, I pray, the biggest thing is I just pray that Canada makes it. I don't care who wins. I would love for the U.S. to win, obviously. Go USA. We're going to absolutely dog walk them again if they come up in here and think, oh, baby, Buku. America to win it plus 175, and all Americans to go undefeated the round. Oh, now you better hope, Buku, that they don't lay down against Sweden. and just kind of rest on their laurels and try to get people a playing time. But that's a nice ticket right there, plus 175 and plus 310. That's what I'm talking. Buku knows puck. Buku knows puck. So we got it was incredible. Canada before the game. I don't care whose side you're on. If you ever played a live sporting event, I'll never forget whenever we played in the national title game. We were playing 2006 in Chattanooga. We were playing UMass. Trace Atkins was singing the national anthem. And we were lined up on the sideline before the national championship. And the sound went out. And so he was just standing there, and all of a sudden the crowd just starts raining the national anthem down upon us, 30 or 40,000 people, however many it was. And you're just like, in my opinion, there is no better feeling in sports than when the fans sing like that'll every time goosebumps. So you're sitting there and the person who's singing the national anthem for Canada just puts the mic down and just lets the crowd go. And it was, and then they played ours and they're booing and they're this and they're that. And then the Kachuk brothers, Kachuk if you buck, Kachuk and Nux, whatever you want to call it, Sonic and Kachuckles, who cares? It doesn't matter. They dropped the gloves. 3 fights, JT Miller fighting Colton Parayko was an absolute mess. But it was great. I mean, the stars of the game, Jake Gensel, Dylan Larkin. 1 goal, 1 assist for Dylan Larkin. Jake Gensel, 2 goals. Connor McDavid, buddy. Look, it doesn't matter what sport you play, who you're rooting for. When you see that, I mean, you're talking about when you're looking across the line for the U.S. and for the Canada, but Tex and I were talking about this. It is what Connor McDavid does amongst the greatest players in the world. I mean, he separated and then went just backhand top cheddar right over Hellebuck, who hasn't really let anything in for the last 3 years. That was sick, man. That was unbelievable. That was crazy. Hey, Buku says they ain't going to his personal. There's no bad line on this American team. Hit Boldy. God, dude, Boldy has been fun, man. That was a plus 390. Good for you, man. He was a hand picked by the GM. Boldy was. That guy, I like that guy. I was reading about it, but the shots, I mean, you look over here at the shots, 23-26 hit. I mean, this thing was dead even everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. You had the McDavid goal we just talked about. Gensel with a little 5-a-Rooney there right through the wickets of Binnington. I don't know, man. We thought this before the game even started that Binnington, their back end they got Drew Doughty out there who's a legend for the Kings, but, their defense and their goaltending was kind of their weak spots. And for the U.S. in this game, their checking was phenomenal. They got beat 1 time through the neutral zone, and that's where they had to slow everything down against Canada. Canada has unreal speed with McKinnon and McDavid, but they just kept forcing them to chip it. I'm sure that's yeah, dude, he is. Boldy's phenomenal. That guy was awesome. I love how these games, man, I know it's like a made up tournament, but instead of the All-Star game, they said, we're just going to put 4 nations. They should make it 8 or 6 next year. I mean, don't let the college football playoff committee get involved in this thing, or they'll try to put Alabama in here. We don't need that. Get them out of here. So, and then it's 1-1 going in the second, and then Dylan Larkin gets a little. They had just an absolute body check. I think, was this the goal where they had the body check on McDavid, or maybe not? But anyways, Dylan Larkin comes in and snipes one from the right circles. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's Binnington. It's not that Binnington's playing bad. I mean, you could see though that the U.S. had a clear objective. They were shooting. I was telling Texas they were shooting 5-hole no matter what. They were trying to pipe 5-hole without a doubt. They were trying to pipe 5-hole. They were legitimately sniping there. So there was something that told them. I mean, any pro team's going to watch film on that. But man, that was the only thing that would have made this better. Don't get me wrong, it was Sean McDonough sucks, whatever his name is. It should have been Bob Wischusen, who's phenomenal. But if they could have brought Doc Emmerich out of retirement, they got to see what they can do to get this man. They need to get Doc Emmerich back in the booth for the championship. I don't care. I don't care what it costs. Start a GoFundMe. We got to have Doc Emmerich in the booth. Has to happen. Has to happen. Get out of here if not. I don't want to hear it. I do want to hear it. You know what? Get back in here. Get back in here. Sit down. Make it happen. Let's do this. We got to get Doc Emmerich back in there. But yeah, so Larkin, Gensel twice, and it's just the physicality, phenomenal. But, Dylan Larkin had a shaky game earlier. He didn't really play that much, I think, the last game, but he's a baller. But, the team stat, I love looking at the team stats. So, again, we just talked about all that. I mean, everything's dead even. Face-offs, dead even. Power play, one. Nobody scored on the power play. Shorthanded goals, nothing. Total penalties, 5 for the U.S., 4 for Canada. Block shots, 15 for U.S., 17 for Canada. Takeaways, 3 for U.S., 6 for Canada. Giveaways, 20 for U.S., 18. I mean, it was dead even. It was it was the first goal that Gensel scored. They just somebody blew up Connor McDavid on the boards, and then Gensel had a little outlet. And then on the second goal, Dylan Larkin, we caught Canada in a bad change up the right side of the boards, and they were off to the races. And it was a 2-on-1, but Larkin decided to go low blocker and just absolutely ripped, just took his liquor license right there. Dylan Larkin did. It was phenomenal. What a game, man. Like, we're sitting there, and it was awesome because I had my brothers with me. They came to visit. And it was just fun to sit there. It's like, we're all big sports guys. We're watching college baseball. Kids were playing, watching movies. Just a spectacular weekend. And then we get to top it off on a Saturday night with some U.S. hockey. Where the beauty of the U.S. hockey thing, whether it's a made-up tournament or not, is that we all root for the U.S. of A. And when I was watching Twitter, and people are like, I don't watch hockey, but I'm watching this. And it's just phenomenal. Free bird after every goal. So, love looking at the plus minuses here. Dylan Larkin, Jack Eichel's having secretly a very good tournament. But the defense and the forechecking and back checking of the U.S., you could tell that they were lit. Like they were lit up. And Werenski was playing great. Who's the other? Faber, the defensive pairing. Oh man, and then you got Adam Fox back there. I mean, the way that they're able to neutralize this speed, the U.S. from Canada, is insane. So I got some other pictures we're going to go to, but nobody in positive numbers for the Canadians. Sidney Crosby a -2. The time to ask the question does he need to be put down or put down the lineup? Huh? Put him at the end of the bench there. The only bad thing that came out of this, Hellebuck was phenomenal. He's going to win 2 straight Vezinas in a row. Gosh, look at that plus minus. Devon Taves, terrible. Jacob Slavin. God, dude, Slavin's so good. He's good. So is Brock. Yeah, Brock Faber. I mean, Hannafin. Buddy, Hannafin was on the ice every time McDavid was on the ice. And he was just locked him up. Locked him up. Buku says it, not saying he's a problem, just wondering. Their problem, I think the Canadians' problem is that it's always, it's from this lineup, like you look at that, Marner, McDavid, McKinnon, Sidney Crosby. And then after that, there's a lot of good players, but they're not like world beaters. It's just like that top line and that power play are terrifying. I don't know how they didn't score on the power play. I don't get it. Hey, B. McCormick's here. Let's go. There he is. Heavy Step says steam him. That's what I'm talking about. USA. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. So, but anyways, what a game. What an absolute show. Love it. I mean, you can't be more excited about hockey. I mean, it's just what a great spot for hockey. Like, everybody's coming off the Super Bowl. That's what I'm talking about. My name is Enzo Amore, Canada's SAWFT soft. Oh, that's right. Forgot about it. Forgot about Makar being out. And that's it. That's huge. So you look at their defensive, and it's like, when you look at Canada's defensive pairings, like I said, they're out there. The one guy, Harley, he wasn't even allowed to practice with the team until they knew that McCarr was out. So, but this defensive pairing versus ours, I'll take ours any day of the week. I mean, but it's not like it was, we want to say it was a blowout, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was. But I mean, if you're somebody that was just tuning in to watch the game and you're like, oh, I don't really watch hockey, but USA versus Canada, you got a treat. There was a fight 2 seconds into the game. Then there was a fight after that. So I love it. Get a sip of water there. Always love hockey. All right, we've been going for 20 minutes. What do we got to do here? I don't know. I hit the music already. I forgot about that. Did I hit the music? Yeah, I did. I hit the music. All right, let's pull up these headlines here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got some more headlines. We're going to talk a little bit more about the game, only because I made a bunch of pictures and slides about the game. So everybody's going to be watching this. It's my show. It's our show. Tonight is my show. I made all these graphics, Dad. Blame it. And it was a great weekend. Great weekend. Weather turned out better than we thought it was going to be. Hockey on Saturday night. Golf throughout the day here and there. Good pizza this weekend. Just great. Boat rides. Caught a lot of fish. It's a great time. Number one, USA goes into Canada and kicks up their feet. That's exactly what I just said. And this was hilarious from Pierre LeBrun on Twitter. They say Matthew Tkachuk says him, his brother Brady Tkachuk, and JT Miller were on a group chat earlier today, and they decided they wanted to drop the gloves early tonight. So, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Like, before the game even starts, they're just ready to go. Like, they're just ready to go. Root beer liquid death? No, I had the cola one. I had the soda flavored one, and that one was pretty good. So we need to get Liquid Death to sponsor the show. Everybody tag them on Twitter. I love that stuff. It's phenomenal. But I'm telling you, dude, whatever you want to say about that national anthem stuff, here's the deal. It doesn't matter what your reasoning is. And there's a lot of people running around and be like, well, this or that. It doesn't matter. The people on the ice right there have the US of A on their chest. When their song comes on, our song comes on, and you boo it, don't poke the bull. You can't expect them not to come out and start throwing fisticuffs. That's the thing. If we boo Canada's, they're going to come out mad. So, but yeah, Pierre LeBrun is such a Canadian. It's very true. Very true. Can water and make millions. Dude, I'm telling you. Can water, that stuff, it's great. Now, this guy I read the story about this, by the way, Steps, about Liquid Death. I read it. It said he was a recovering alcoholic, the guy, and he wanted something that made him feel like he was drinking a beer. And so he came up with this, and the design is all woven into that part of his life, that sort of thing. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, Liquid Death is right now I'm drinking, not a sponsor of the show, but maybe potentially. I do have one of these. Right now I'm drinking hop water. That stuff's really good. I like hop water. The lime one's phenomenal. That's right. AK drinks canned water. I do. I drink canned water. I'm fancy as Voss. What is that movie? What was that movie? Click? No. With Adam Sandler. What's that? Your dad's system blows? It's a Bose. Drink your Voss. Dude, yeah. That's what that whole thing's about, dude. It does the whole thing is it's political and it's this and that. I'm like, take all that aside. They're like, oh, if somebody was booing you and doing that, you're living in the country and you're wearing the name, you go into their place to play a game and you got your chest covered in our emblem and they boo you, you're going to get mad. Doesn't matter who you are. Anyways, I thought this tweet was hilarious. Tkachuk says him and his brother, they were all they all decided. And then this was, I could show you the tweet, and I'm not going to do it. So we put this tweet up for those you can't see it. the Kachuk brothers when it's time to put on the red, white, and blue, and it's just a picture of Fulton Reed and oh my gosh, what was the other guy's name? Dean something. Dean Portman. That's what it is. Dean Portman, the Bash brothers. So we put this out, I don't know, 3 days ago, whenever it all went on. And lo and behold, guess who? Pardon my take, and Barstool, of course. Why not? Of course they do. But it's, that's who they were. I mean, literally, that's what it was. I'm surprised they didn't take their shirts off in the penalty box, because that's what the Bash brothers eventually did. So Dean Portman and Fulton Reed, love it. And this was crazy. Like, more on this game. Team Canada had won 26 straight games with Sidney Crosby in the lineup over a 15-year span. They had 10 goals the last 26 games of Canada with Sidney Crosby in the lineup. 10 goals, or Sidney Crosby had 10 goals, 29 points, plus 85 goal differential, team record 26-0. The last loss that Team Canada had was Sidney Crosby in the lineup. 2010 Olympics, the preliminary round to the U.S. Dude, that was 15 years ago. Now, this is beautiful, again, because the Winter Olympics are next year. So this is all going to build right into that. And it's just spectacular. Whoops. Man, I gotta watch my mouse there. Gotta be careful what I'm gonna say there. So that was crazy. Now, this was just the Finland game. I haven't seen NHL news. Somebody look up the numbers for me here. I haven't seen the numbers for Canada, but I bet you it's almost double or triple that. Because the viewers, like the USA-Finland game on ABC ESPN TV numbers with 1.5 million viewers, 2.2 million on its peak. Most viewed non-playoff hockey game on ESPN, plus 323% of the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. More than any NHL All-Star game on ABC since Disney reacquired the right. Like, that's like... That's what I'm saying. Rip Crosby in Canada. You don't like that game was exactly what we needed for everybody who's getting out of football. Like you're getting out of football. You're sad because you're like, what am I going to watch? What might I bet on? What am I going to do with my Sunday? What am I going to do with my Saturday? And I'm sorry, college basketball just doesn't do it for me yet. No offense. But right now it's golf and hockey season. But this thing is going to lead us right into some just beautiful rivalry for the Winter Olympics, and I love it. So yeah, I would love to see what the Canadian one was, and this is what it is. Boos echo through the Bell Center as the Star Spangled Banner plays. We weren't even playing Canada. We weren't even playing Canada. We're playing Finland, and that ensued to be a 6-1 absolute mollywhopping, which we went over that on Thursday night. And then we had the obvious Saturday night. So here's the rest of the schedule, everybody, for those of you who don't know. We've already played all these games. Okay. Canada and Finland play tomorrow at 1. I think it's President's Day. Some kids are out of school. I don't know. Sweden and USA play tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Now, that'll be an interesting game because this game means nothing for the USA. And I think Canada has to beat Finland in regulation. I think. And then I think Sweden has to beat us in regulation. But if Canada loses, oh, look who's here. Look who's here. Tex is here. He's getting his chair set up. I think I got him some headphones. Give us a second, everybody. Talk amongst yourselves. We're going to get Tex's thoughts into the mic here in a second. Here you go. What the heck was that? I just hit a button. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know what just happened. It said A major. But there's not a Kendrick Lamar. Not a Kendrick Lamar joke, I promise. Okay, get in here, dude. Slide over.
Strangest.
Here you go.
Headphones.
They are. All right. Thoughts on the you smell like dead catfish. The championship game is Thursday. U.S. is in it. Don't worry about it. Thoughts on the Canada USA game we watched last night.
total electric factory right from the start. 3 fights, first 10 seconds. Was locked in. And so were the boys. The boys were buzzing. They were flying around out there, hitting, playing good D, back checking, forth checking, all the checks, cross checking.
Good thing Czech Republic wasn't in here.
Yeah, they did check them right off the list too.
Yeah, we would check them too.
Yep.
We checked ourselves before we wrecked ourselves.
Yep. Checked all the boxes, and came out with a dub, dominant dub. Like there's never a moment where it wasn't in hand. They were playing pretty conservatively there at the end, but they were just playing not to make a mistake and let Canada slip in, because whenever you have a ice full of Hall of Famers and McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, everybody else they had out there, it was pretty crazy to look on the ice and see what they had, and still
we were all
down by 2.
It's like every person out there is. Every person out there is. We're sharing a mic, so he's down here at my house. But every person out there was alternate or captain on their team.
Yeah, and just it was crazy, the amount of talent on the ice. Crazy.
Well, I think one of the craziest things is that how, I know you weren't here for the opening monologue of 30 minutes, but Connor McDavid on his goal where he just basically outskated everybody on the ice, and you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, this dude is like, who are these slow people on the ice?
Yeah. That kind of stuff is like where you realize how good he is. It's kind of like I remember watching Messi in the World Cup a few years back, and he's dipping and doodahing around everybody, and these guys are world-class level soccer players. He's making them look like 6-year-olds out there. So just that kind of talent, you can really appreciate it at that level, how fast and how good he is with his hands. And to hit that backhander bar down, basically, I mean, at that speed is crazy. Crazy. If you ever go out there and try to do it on the ice, you'd see how impossible it is to go. I mean, the stick work was crazy.
Stupid. You know what? They suck, though. So they stink. They stink. We gotta finish this out. Now here's the real question. Does the U.S. sabotage themselves? Heavy Step says Messi's the goat. Does U.S. sabotage themselves just to screw Canada out of the game, or do you think they're like, we'll play you again, it doesn't matter?
Yeah. Seems like to me they had no fear of who they were playing.
Hear that, Canada? You do not scare us. We don't fear you. None of us do. Not even in hockey anymore. That's a shame. Hate to see it. Real shame. Okay. Next piece of information was, I saw this recently. The Bullygate. I don't know if people remember the guard. I think it was Jonathan Martin, played for the Dolphins. Richie Incognito was not real. Get back to that. So Adam Schefter apparently, who took the checkered flag? That was Willie Biron. Willie Biron. And I hope he's not Canadian, because that would suck for him, because I'm sure he was really sad.
Is that how you say his name? I thought it was Byron.
I don't know.
That was Byron.
Could have been. Notable excerpt. So this is from the Bullygate thing. Dolphins OL Jonathan Martin. He edits. So after years of trying to get him, he edits himself in real time, texting updates, changes previous comments. He sways from being assertive to being cautious. He describes himself as an alpha, wants to assure he's not fully formed person in his 20s. He worries over retaining agency of his story. I never believed for a second I was being bullied, Martin says now. He wants the world to forget the only thing it remembers about him. It's a story, he says. I've been trying to fix it for 10 years. So this is what Richie Incognito says. Former Dolphins OL line Jonathan Martin says he never believed for a second he was being bullied. Richie Incognito, as we were trying to say. And Richie Incognito says he couldn't cut it in the NFL, so he quit, and his mom blamed me. Legacy media pushed this narrative long and far. Too bad it was all a lie. They lied to protect his money. He quit. The team had every right to claw back for that money. His mom started the bullying narrative. And then he goes on to say Adam Schefter picked it up and kept running with it. So do you remember this thing? Do you remember this story?
I do. And everybody said that he was saying bad things about the other guy, Richie Incognito. He was saying bad things, but it all seemed really weird at the time, if I remember right. Because you're like, these guys are two really large, grown men. How could they not have settled this in some other way?
I do remember that.
And it was very strange, and it really put a bad light on Richie Incognito. I remember ESPN running like, I don't know if it was like a hit piece or what you want to call it, but they took out a whole article talking about how Incognito was just a bad guy and a bad teammate. But it seemed like everybody everywhere he went loved him. So it just didn't make any sense.
Well, the thing was like that probably cost him millions of dollars.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah. I mean that whole thing kind of ran him out of town down there, and it just didn't seem like the narrative fit what others thought about him in general.
And the thing, like, everywhere he goes, like, always a bully, and they're going to make him the poster child for being like, this is, the NFL will get on one of their kicks of, we're going to make a bunch of commercials about this. Stand up to this, stand up to that, all that stuff. And so it's like he was the guy that they were going to galvanize around to be like, don't be like this guy, and like basically just trash his name, like for the rest of the time, essentially, until this guy came out and was like, actually, this doesn't sound good for me. It's like, well, yeah, dude, like, what's going on? But anyways, I thought that was an interesting story.
Well, if anybody's ever been around any, high level offensive linemen, they're all kind of like Richie Incognito in some ways. They're, I know they're kind of the biggest kid on the block, and
You gotta know how to talk.
yeah,
To them.
you got that. They're always the most entertaining group in the locker room, but you gotta know what you're saying when you're talking around them because they make you pay.
Yes, yes, having played college football, both of us. It's you just gotta. It's a different like everybody again, like he said, everybody in the locker room knows like it's a different animal. It's they got to have that. They're nuts. They sit there. They get no credit. They don't get to score a point ever unless it's an accident, and they just bash their heads in and break their fingers, and everybody makes fun of their hands forever. And you got to have an edge, man. So, anyways, and then the third piece of this headlines was the Eagles and Kelce are still in the news. Now, the Eagles, for obvious reasons, because they had which again, we got to stop with the parades because apparently, I mean, people were shot again. I didn't really follow up on that, but that's dumb. This sucks. I would never go to one of those. I don't know about you.
No, probably not.
So,
I don't even watch them on TV.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. But anyway, Saquon. Oh, you want me to go back? TJ said he missed what Richie said. No. He said Richie Incognito. This whole thing, like Jonathan Martin was backtracking what he was saying. Like Adam Schefter and Richie Incognito is on a mission right now, dude. TJ. Richie Incognito is on a mission to try to say, hey, this was all BS. And who knows, man? Who knows who to believe? Like I don't know. But
it seems like you can't believe what Jonathan Martin said because now he's saying he didn't say what he said. So,
good point. But yeah, here's what Richie said. He's going in, dude. He hasn't stopped. You have Twitter. Richie Incognito is all over the place. So this will be one of the biggest stories in the sports news tomorrow. So we have to figure out how are they going to phrase this tomorrow on all the shows. They're going to be like, what does this mean for Richie Incognito's legacy? Actually, no, what does it mean for Jonathan Martin's legacy? What does it mean for both of their legacies? Does the NFL have a bullying problem? That's probably what that's what they'll settle on. They'll settle on something ridiculous. And the Chiefs, and this was awesome. Saquon Barkley gave each of his offensive linemen an entire truckload of beer. Bud Light. What does that say about Saquon when he gave him Bud Light? Is he cheap or is he sponsored by Bud Light? Or is Bud Light?
This is an ad, just like the truck deal with Brock Purdy. It's an ad.
You figured he'd go with something like, I don't know.
Garage beer? Garage beer?
Is that the Kelce's?
Yeah.
No, we don't need more of them. I feel like they should have gone, instead of going with Bud Light, they should have gone with IPAs. That would have been hilarious. Oh, there you go. He said, listen, TJ said he was an ASS hat. That said, no grown man is bullying me when I play the same sport. That's just not possible. Jonathan was with TJ knows, man. We've been in the locker room with those dudes. I understand. That's right. But TJ, thoughts on Saquon going with Bud Light for the gift? I don't know. I just don't like Bud Light. I think it sucks, but that's just me. The taste. I've never liked Bud Light in my life, ever. Miller Lite would be what I would go with. Would you be upset if somebody gifted you an entire truck of Bud Light?
Yeah, because I don't know what I would do with it at this point. I can't drink that much beer. Like 3 is enough for me for a whole week.
Now, if that was beer 30, like back in the day, you wouldn't even know if half of those were full or not. It'd just be empty cans. Grossest beer ever. Secondly, Kelce's are in the news. Now, Travis Kelce back in the news, him and Pat Mahomes. And there's a video that's going around of them like hugging, and I don't care what you think about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce says, I love you, brother. Kelce to Mahomes says, I owe you a lot for what you've done. These two dudes, I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get that moment of two dudes being that open with each other on a football field, or really anywhere other than a football field or a locker room, to be like, man, this might be the last time we ever get to do this together. Which is, I felt that when I watched the video, I was like, oh man, you don't get the locker room back ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the hardest part of getting out of sports. That's probably what like Kelce's probably torn with. Once you get out of the locker room, you never really get that same vibe again. No matter where you go, you just don't spend enough time, and there's not enough free time to bond with other dudes the way that you did in a locker room.
And it's justified because you go they go to the locker room, they're going to work. Like that's the thing. And you being able to work in the locker room, basically, because that's what everybody plays football for a long time, is like the games and stuff are great. Run out in front of the crowd's great. And I mean, obviously I didn't play that much. Like everybody knows that who listens to this show, but I was out there, and like you get the feeling of playing. And I mean, I started a few games here and there, but the crowd noise and all that stuff, but it's all the locker room stuff where you're hanging out with your dudes all the time. He just said, I don't mind Bud Light, but you think they can afford it? Dude, it's Saquon. Well, he's on that running back money, dude. He's not on that. He's on like QB money. So that's what TJ said. Yep. Beaver Corey says, tell him, Tex. Dude, I was lost for like 2 years after App State football. Leaving that locker room, had to get it. Dude, you go and you work with people that maybe never been in a locker room like that. Like when you go play college sports, you're there all the time. So they're like, we get our atmosphere here as a team. It's like, no, man, like you don't understand. Like we eat lunch together. We go to the bars together. We go to practice together. Like this is not like you want to be a team, but you're not a team. But I respect you for wanting to be a team. Anyways, that just touched my heart. That just touched my heart. I felt bad. And he said they're going to give him I think he said he's coming back. They said he's going to play 1 year. He wants his retirement tour. He wants somebody give him a seat full of wooden bats or something. Like they give him a throne like they did for Mariano Rivera. I think somebody from Mariano Rivera, like just some team, I think it was the Razorbacks, the Diamondbacks, gave Mariano Rivera.
Here's what's they're going to do, like, I think it was Carmelo Anthony. He went on his I think it might have been Carmelo. But he went on, and like after every game, they basically had him with some other dude on the team swapping jerseys, and that's what it's going to be after every game. Kelce swapping jerseys. Who's he going to swap jerseys with this time? Who's it going to be? Be the story.
They're going to try to get Taylor Swift more involved. You know that's what's going to happen. Like there's somehow they're gonna write a song.
Just be a jersey swap and Taylor Swift tickets. There you go.
I'm telling you, dude, that's what they're gonna do. Anyways, I don't even know what's next. Hold on. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to I think the next segment here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. So we went over all the headlines. The shambles meter is next. Let's bring it to the stage. This is basically a segment where somebody had a bad weekend, or somebody had, it was something that didn't go well for somebody. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The shambles meter. Number 4, catfish. Not the show, not people trying to fool you. Literal catfish. Tex and I have been on this river down here for the past few days. We went out on the boat, didn't catch anything, but the vibes were great. Vibes were good. But then we come back to the dock, and I'm telling you, I don't know how many giant catfish we've caught, but they're in shambles because not a one of them is going to have any lips left for the rest of spring. And I think that word's getting out. Tex, thoughts?
Chunk shad and a circle hook fished on the bottom is the most deadly thing you can do in the time period of 4 to 8 in the afternoon at midnight to 2 o'clock in the morning. Wear them out.
Huge ones. I don't have any pictures because, well, I guess I could just put pictures up of the actual fish, but I forgot to do that, so it doesn't matter. But catfish, shambles meter, they never stood a chance. Number 3 is Nirvana, because Nirvana stands. Saturday Night Live did their 50th. I don't know what day the Saturday Night Live thing is. I think it's on right now, actually. But the oil rigs in New Orleans show you some real fishing. Come on with it, dude. Probably go down there and catch those giant Goliath grouper. But Nirvana is in shambles because they keep doing the Saturday Night Live thing, and they did a cover on Saturday Night Live, and Post Malone sang the song, and he was really good. He sung "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and Post Malone is very talented. I don't know what that guy is, but he's like one of everything. But I just think the Nirvana's in shambles because somebody else sang that song really awesome. Thoughts?
It's a good song, but the only thing I can think about that Post Malone ever sang was that Saucin' song. Saucin', I'm saucin' on you. So when I remember, I don't know any other song he sung.
I don't know that song at all.
No, that's the one.
Oh, B. McCormick says he's caught and weighed more largemouth bass in Virginia than you.
This is true. I never caught a largemouth bass in Virginia.
But catfish, you don't want this. Number 2 on the shambles meter. Other teams that are not the San Francisco 49ers. And it's our year this year, and I'm going to show you why. Here are the top-selling NFL team gear at Lids. Number 1, not the Chiefs, not the Cowboys, not the Bills, not the Eagles, not the Steelers, not the Packers. No, nay, 9, zilch. You get nothing, and you will like it. Number 1 NFL team selling gear, San Francisco 49ers. This is from Lids. This is not from me. I did not make this up. Boom. Raiders are number 2. Cowboys are number 3. That's hilarious that the Raiders and the Niners are number 1 and 2. Number 4 is the Eagles. 5 is the Chiefs. 6 is the Steelers. 7 is the Lions. 8 is the Dolphins. Chicago Bears, number 9. Houston Texans, 10. What I didn't notice on here, Tex, and maybe you noticed it as well, there's no Buffalo Bills. There's no Minnesota Vikings. Thoughts on this chart that I didn't make up?
I've been saying it for years, but the Bills Mafia peaked in 2021. This proves it. And the only reason that San Francisco is number 1 is because the city is subsidizing purchases of hats and gear to give to all the homeless folks.
I thought
Tell me I'm wrong.
I thought
Find the line.
I thought they were counting the ones for all the Super Bowls they've been losing that they send down to other countries, and they're like, "Oh, they had to buy those. Somebody had to buy them."
Yeah. At least you're being honest with yourself.
Yeah,
It's not real. This number's not real.
it's Brock Purdy. There actually is no number. It's just a hat, and it just has their name beside it with the number 1. That's all. And number 1 on the shambles meter, that's Canada. You booed our national anthem, and our team went out there and punched you in the face, quite literally. And complete shambles and I kept saying that we have the best hockey team in the world on Twitter, and there were a lot of people that said this is not a world tournament, you idiot. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. To us, it's the world right now. It's the only what other hockey tournament is going on right now in the world. So the Cowboys have Matt Eberflus. Sure you do. Oh my gosh. Cowboys fan I'm about to put the Cowboys fans in shambles right now. Real time. Draw myself a little star up here over Nirvana. Thoughts, Tex?
I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, it doesn't matter. I was just laughing at TJ because he's mad because the Cowboys are number 3. They still sell all that. They still sell all that junk. Yeah, see, he agrees. He's being honest with himself. Absolute shambles.
This will be a tough year next year for sure.
Why? You got the quarterback. Dak said you're not that far off.
We're not that far. We're going to beat the Eagles, but I don't know what else we're going to
do. Dude, oh my gosh. The argument that you and J.V. got into via text, J.V. got. He got, and he got caught getting got. He got caught, got. And it was incredible because Tex had him in a blender, and he just couldn't get out. He just couldn't get it. I don't even know what it was about. What was it about? It was something about Dak and the Cowboys or something.
Yeah. He kept bringing up the history with the Eagles and what Dak said, that we're not that far off, which is true. Whenever Dak is playing, we've only lost 1 game since 2019 to the Eagles.
It's such an empty, hollow stat. It's so stupid, but it's so true. So we're so far, it might even be the Giants. Y'all might not even be somebody from the UFL. They might not even let the Cowboys in the college football playoff. Y'all are going to stink so bad. And
give me the mic, TJ. Stop it.
Oh, incredible. Okay, now what? Now we've got. This is my first time doing. We haven't done the Sunday golf show yet in quite some time, so I think that's all the news we had. Let me check. Let me double check for headlines and hockey and all that. Oh, this is sick. This is an awesome idea. Okay, everybody, shh. We are going to hit the drop. Everybody cover your ears. If you're allergic to electric guitars, then go take a Benadryl before this drop hits. Shh. If you're allergic to electric guitars. Okay. Here we go. Golf. Genesis Open, ladies and gentlemen. Genesis, I keep saying it, Genesis Invitational. It's Tiger Woods' tournament. 72 golfers. Top 50 made it, and within 10 of the leader, or within 10 of the leader, whatever. Ludwig Aberg gets the win. We'll pull up that in a second. But first, as we're talking to golf, Ludwig Aberg is just like a silky golf machine. Like if you were to build a golfer in a lab, Ludwig Aberg would be
European lab.
European, yes. He's not Canadian, thank goodness. But speaking of golf, this is one of the coolest things ever. Take a listen here. Gary Woodland, B. McCormick. I put all my eggs in that basket. And then the Gary Woodland eggs in the basket was actually a basket that got sat on by a child who, after Easter, the Easter bunny came and the child sat on all the eggs in the Easter basket, and it got smushed, and Gary Woodland didn't even make the cut. And I'm really sad about that because I thought he was in form. He was in form, and it just stinks that I was the one that screwed it up about making the cut. There was only 18 people that got cut, and it's terrible. Anyway, so the Genesis Invitational, before we get to that, this was something I saw that is just hilarious. This is from Tour Pro, official Tour Pro. Golf courses should definitely start doing this. Quote, all clubhouses should have a live feed of the first tee box with top tracer technology in the restaurant bar area. Imagine relaxing with a beer, watching everyone tee off. $20, a blue shirt guy goes in the you-know-what you're on, and you're just watching all these numbskulls tee off and just wank drives all over the place. Thoughts on that, Tex? That would be pretty funny.
Well, yeah, that'd be great. But who would be up at 6:30 a.m. with a beer watching people tee off?
Obviously, you're not a golfer.
Obviously,
those days are done. Is what it is.
I don't think that'd be. I think if you were to do it for like the afternoon, maybe.
Well, I think you have to do it on the bachelor party. Like, you have to know the courses where the bachelor parties are, and then it would work really well. But it would be funny to sit there and just laugh at people because, everybody's like breakfast ball because they don't want to chunk their first drive. And, inevitably you're going to chunk your first drive. It doesn't matter. But, okay. Before we do that, let's take a look at the leaderboard of the tournament and just quickly go over that. Whoops. And let's just bring up and just take a look at what happened here. Because look at all these buttons I'm hitting. Tech's never seen the behind the scenes. I'm just hitting buttons left and right. There it is. Ludwig Aberg. He birdied 18, drilled a putt from like 8 feet, knocked it down, 12 under. He was tied with Maverick McNeely. He was having the tournament of his life. Sucks for that guy. But I think McNeely made a bogey late. That kind of did him in. But Oberg went 4 under on the back to chase him down to get to 6 under for the day. Oh, no. I hate it when it does this. Let's just get out of that. And then Maverick McNeely bogeyed on 14 and then went par. He couldn't birdie the 18th, which is a real shame because he had an absolute heater of a round. He was 8 under. All he needed to do was birdie 18. He could have won the thing or tied at least. What a round, though. I mean, 1, 2, golly, he had 6 birdies on the front, 3 on the back, that bogey. But what a heater from Maverick McNeely. Good for him. Sweet name, too. All-time golf name, Maverick McNeely?
Yeah, I mean, you got 2 M's. His first name's Maverick. He's got a McNeely, so that's kind of Scottish. So it's like it covers all the bases.
That's a good point. And then we got Scotty Scheffler, who was just on a tear, 5 under through the front 9, 1 under on the back, shot a 66. There's a crazy stat that I was getting ready to show here in a minute. Scotty Scheffler just doing what Scotty does, which is, oh, God, has he lost it? Nope, top 3. Oh, God, it's Scotty. Scotty Scheffler. He's finally, nope, top 5. Oh, Scotty Scheffler. You can't putt where the shiznit. Oh, doesn't matter. He just chips it in from wherever he's at. Scotty's his hand. He's got a kid. Lasagna. Oh, Scotty. Nope, doesn't matter. Just ripping off 66s. And everybody's like, what's wrong with Scotty? He's not winning anything. I would love to. I can't remember what he's finished. It's top 5, top 10. It's stupid. Finau had a great day too. Tony Finau. Danny McCarthy was leading, and so was what's his face, Patrick Rogers. So a top 5. They were the final pairing, the premier, the marquee. Our guy, dude, Novak, 4 under, tied for top 15 there. Hubbard got cut. That stinks. We love Hubs, though. So, it was a pretty good tournament. Got to watch bits and pieces of it. We're going to go over the betting and the DraftKings here in a minute. But, it just sucks that players that couldn't make the cut. Oh, there's your guy, Dietrich. Finished 9 over. Yeah. It's a real shame.
We had a rough day today. I think today was a plus. Hang on, let me see where he finished. I was just looking
click on his name. Look at this.
Plus 9 today. Today was plus 9. Sorry. Plus 3 today. Plus 3. So today was a rough day.
Yeah, he did. He finished 3 over. Yikes. Terrible back nine.
Yep.
Terrible back nine for Dietrich. But he did win last week, but you didn't care. It didn't matter. Now,
Yeah, I just put him in the lineup because he was the best putter that I had that I could play. Seymour Putts guy.
You are. That's right, Mr. Greens. So it's a good turn. I got to watch, dude, watching some of these guys hit golf shots like Ricky Fowler. Or not Ricky Fowler, but not him. Not him. He stinks.
Ricky Stenhouse?
No, no. Rory McIlroy hitting. There was one shot he hit out of the sand with like a 3-wood. And it's just like you could see the guy that was playing with him and just shook his head like, you got to be like, you're not supposed to hit that. Also, tell him what you the first time Tex saw Akshay Bhatia today. Would you give me your first initial reaction?
I didn't realize he was a lefty, so shout out lefties. And he's got the skinniest calves you'll ever see. Like he's got no muscle down there. I don't know how he gets a golf ball. I don't know.
Very, very small frame, but he's got a nice core. He's got good torque. That's what they say with guys who are a little bit more gangly. So, but a lot of big names up there. So that's good. It was a good tournament. Getting Tiger obviously didn't play. The conditions were shout out Ludwig Oberg. He played here a couple weeks ago, I think, and was absolutely lighting the course on fire. And then he got sick. Like he had to stop because I think he got the flu. But so he got his revenge. It's a revenge game. Like it's no different than when you're playing ball and the narrative's out there that you can't play ball against your old team. And that's a revenge game. And so he took it personally. Shout out MJ Meme. He took that personally against Torrey Pines, and he came out and won. And he put on a clinic and sank the putt on 18. You love to see a guy sink a putt on 18 to win the tournament. I don't care how far it is. Here are the shout out Golf Tips Checker. Go follow him on Twitter. Pendrith was the most heavily bet. I don't even know where he finished. We just went over it. So basically, all the people that were bet heavily with their average odds, Pendrith, Hovland, Clark, Zalatoris, Morikawa, Bradley, Benwillie, Scott, didn't really do that well, I don't think. So Pendrith, who was bet the most, I think he was way down here, and he finished 50. Top 50, though. Top 50. Made the cut. Finished 6 over. Benwillie right there, 4 over. Hovland did not play particularly well, I do not believe. Everybody was all over Hovland because it was a course where, because of the conditions early on, it was like you don't have to be that good around the green, which is where Hovland I think has been struggling from what I've read, what I've watched. So I don't even know where did he even make the cut? No, he did not. He did not make the cut. Wyndham Clark, he finished at 1 under. Zalatoris finished at 2 under, I think. Morikawa, I think he finished somewhere up there around, he was 3 under. Keegan Bradley had a hole-in-one today. I saw that. That was cool. Keegan Bradley, so he finished it even. Benwillie, we just talked about. Adam Scott was 1 over. So that, a lot of those guys that were bet heavily didn't. No. It was Ludwig Oberg, revenge game. Well, there you go. This was the story. The rain on the conditions on Thursday and Friday are crazy. It made the greens like suck back city. Like you hit a ball on the green, it would just suck back. But yesterday and today were pretty good. So big win for the weather over the weekend.
Yeah, it was nice.
So thank you for that. Oh, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The guys. I don't think I have to hit any music here. But before we do the guys, let's shout out the Listener League winner. We're starting the Golf DFS back up again, ladies and gentlemen. And the person who won it was Race Dog Football 87. Sweet name. 445.5 points. I think they had Ludwig Oberg. I cannot remember who their lineup was, but we're bringing that back, and we just want to shout out Hubs. Yes, he missed the cut, but he's actually missed more cuts this year right now than he has probably in the last 2 years combined. So he's going to get it dialed in. But he had Race Dog Football 87, sweet name, shout out you. Had McNeely, Matsuyama, McElroy, Batia. Those were kind of his big dogs. Thanks for joining the contest, dude. All right. Only a few things to clean up here, Tex. The guys. These are the guys that we give out prior to the tournament to put in your DraftKings lineup. And 3 out of the 4 made the cut. But Dietrich did not make the top 10 according to your odds here at plus 330. Willie Z did not make the top 10. Minwoo Lee did not make the top 20. And Gary Woodland did not make the top 5. I don't even think he made the top 5 of the cut line to make the 5. No, he was not. He was 3 strokes beyond the cut. Minwoo Lee was 48th. You see, who else was it? It was Willie Z. Willie Z, did he make a top 10? No, he was 24th. And Dietrich was 53rd. Yeah. Like, I mean, look at this.
Woodland finished top 9 in the cut.
Maybe that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Look at this list of names where I don't think anybody cracked the top 25 per se. No, Willie Z was top 24. So there we go. Shout out us. We did make the top 25. Thoughts on this band of losers that we gave out?
Felt good. Golf, just getting back into it. My first lineup had 5 out of 6 make the cut. So I'm feeling like I'm starting to warm up to golf. And
what about hockey? What about hockey is going to throw you off from golf, though?
Probably for this weekend, because no, it's on Thursday. The hockey's on Thursday. So no. I can have my lineup set and then lock in for hockey on Thursday and then shift focus back to golf. Where are we going on this weekend though?
Mexico.
Love Mexico.
Shout out Super Troopers. We're going to Mexico. So the guys, we'll get back into form. We're not picking, like, if you want us to go up there and pick, hey, Scotty Scheffler, hey, Rory, they're going to make no. We want guys that are borderline, like, can we will this guy across the cut line? Can we be the person halfway through the marathon that throws Gatorade on him and be like, you can do this, and like hand him some sort of snack? That's who we want to be. Not just, hey, Patrick Cantlay, he's going to make the top. Okay, yes, Patrick Cantlay is like a top 10 golfer in the world. We're not doing that. We want the guys that are like, how do we will this golfer? What can we do to help? That's what we want to. That's all we want to do is help. Okay. Those are the guys. We'll get better. Well, I mean, 3 out of 4. I mean, it was a modified cut event, but anyways, 3 out of 4, not bad. We'll get rounded into it. I just want to say that I did cash and I did make some money, but the guys who really screwed everybody were Sepp Straka. He was 20% owned. Rasmus Højgaard, he was 16% owned. And Bobby McIntyre was 14% owned. And they were terrible. I mean, none of them made the cut. And I'm pretty sure Højgaard finished dead last. So I was so mad at this because I played a lot of Cam Davis. I thought he was playing well. And he really screwed a lot of my lineups. I did play a lot of Nick Taylor too. And he did really well. He was 6 under. Anyways, I just couldn't get any 6 for 6s, which is stupid. In this cut, there was only 18 people that got cut. Stupid. And I think, yes, the sexy 6-pack picks golf winners. None of these people won. In fact, Straka and Woodland missed the cut. All the other guys actually played pretty well. Rory blew it. He was playing with Scotty, but actually played pretty well. And I just wanted to do this one thing for Scotty to show how stupid of a golfer he is, how crazy it is. With a round of plus 476, Scotty Scheffler records his worst score since the final round of the 2022 Players. He'll be paired with Rory McIlroy, and both guys will start 5 back of the lead. So he shot his worst round and then finished third because he played so well. That's his worst round in 3 years, almost 3 years.
I haven't had a bad round in 3 years either.
Who's better, you or Scotty?
It depends on the day.
We don't know. You've never played. You've never played each other.
Yeah.
So
I'm open for the challenge, though.
Come on the show, Scott. So I think that was it. Oh, my gosh, yes. So that was the golf tournament. What just happened here? That was the golf tournament. Good tournament. We had a busy weekend, so we weren't watching too many sports. We did get to watch the hockey game. We watched bits and pieces of the golf tournament. I'm not going to sit here and tell you we sat there and watched it all, but I did watch some of it on Thursday and Friday especially. But we were out doing stuff. So we're going to hang some banners, and then we're going to get out of here. This abbreviated, adjuncted version of our show where Texas is in my basement right now as we speak. Basement Bros. Who would win in a fight, us or the Kachuk brothers?
Probably us.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Hang banners. Shh.
You did it! Congratulations!
Well, the Kachuk brothers.
I don't think that they probably didn't wrestle. So we both wrestled in high school. So, all these guys in UFC who are elite all were wrestlers. And, that tips the scale in our favor.
Quite literally.
Yep.
Even though they are big. Can they fight off skates? I feel like they do so much on skates that they wouldn't really be able to fight on skate or off skates.
Whenever you hit them with an arm drag or something, what are they going to do? They're going to fall on their face.
I'll tell you this right now. We're not Canadian. You're not fighting Carl Hagel and Colton Parayko, buddy. Don't boo me. Hang the banners, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to hang your banner first, or do you want me to go? Because I'm looking at something that's just outrageous.
Yeah, I'll go first. All right. I'm going to hang the banners on Tulane's baseball uniforms this weekend. Stole it right from AK's face.
He did it right here. You finally got to see my screen. These are filth, by the way. We can both hang the banner for this.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet where somebody was like, somebody needs to give the guy who does Tulane's uniforms, all of them, a raise, because it was outrageous. Yeah. Some of the stuff they were putting out there.
That harkens back to the Houston Astros uniforms of the, I don't know if it's early 90s, 80s. That's what that reminds me of, except for the colors are really, really cool.
Those are filth. Those are way better than those stupid. I don't know if you've even seen it, but the college basketball, they did some stupid uniforms where the chest, like the logo for the team is right here on the chest, on their right shoulder, and then their numbers down here on their left lower quadrant of their abdomen. It's and then all this is blank. It looks really weird. Yeah. It looks like a soccer jersey without sleeves. It's very strange. But this is fire.
Looks like a really nice beer league softball uniform.
It does. Like that's definitely the Mardi Gras version. It's got to be. Yep. So my hang the banner is to MVS, the MVP maker. Everybody's dogging him, Tex. Every quarterback to win the MVP award in the last 5 seasons has played with Marquez Valdes-Scantling that year. How about this for sabermetrics? 2020 Aaron Rodgers MVP, 2021 Aaron Rodgers MVP, 2022 Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP, 2023 Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP. 2024, Josh Allen MVP. This begs the question, could Josh Allen have won the MVP without MVS?
I'm going to go with this year, yes, because he was the best running back and the best quarterback that the league has seen this year. No, yeah, I think he was tied with Saquon in the running back.
Somebody said somebody stole your thunder. I can't remember who it was. It was an ex-NFL player that said Josh Allen's just a running back. We're not afraid to say it. And I couldn't find the clip where you said that he was running back. Like we made a clip out of it. Normally I can find the clips and wanted to go put it under like, yeah, we said this like 2 years ago or 2 months ago. It was the same thing with it. If you copy a take that is ours and we try to make them so ridiculous that there's no way you will take them, but because of the way media is, that's what happens. We will go in your mentions and we will put that video and give a timestamp because we're petty like that. We're the petty goats. Thoughts?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is the show. The only other relevant sports news was that Justin Tucker continues to not have a really good time. And that seems to not be going. It's up to 16 reports now for Justin Tucker. Not good. Not good.
That's 15 too many.
That's, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been episode 209. Abbreviated. G.U.Y.S out on vacation. I don't think he'll be here Wednesday. But, ladies and gentlemen, we will be back Wednesday. We actually have some exciting news. We will be bringing on another cool guest. Joining the show at some point. And we will talk football and other shenanigans. And why don't you check us out on all of our socials and come yell at us on Twitter and TikTok and all those places because it makes us laugh.
I'm Dan Marinoing all of AK's gum down here.
Did you just eat it all? Idiot. Okay. Go Niners. Go Rangers. Go. Episode 209. Like, subscribe. Yell at us on Twitter. TikTok.